First of all, just kind of tell me what the message to the team was. You guys hung tough with a very good Vanderbilt team through this series.
Yeah, I mean, the message to our team is that we're right there. We can compete, and we got to play solid. We can't have one day where we're able to score 8 runs and then another day where we can't score any runs. And just to continue to get more consistent across the board. I think that if we can start doing those things, you look at the couple weekends. I mean, this was an opportunity this weekend to win a series. In South Carolina, I thought we had some very good opportunities to win series there. And the reality is like we played 4 SEC weekends, and we played 4 of the top teams in the country, not just in the SEC. Like, these are really good programs that they're playing really well too. It's about when do you hit these teams, how hot are they at that time, how healthy are they at those times, and we're right there. We just we're doing that banged up a little bit. So as we continue to get our guys in more comfortable spots, I think that we can be a little bit more consistent.
Offensively, what do you think it was today, the difference?
Yeah, I mean, number one, the environment, the fans that came out and supported the team, just that brings the energy. And I think sometimes it's like you want to perform so well that you kind of take a step back and really hurt yourself there, because that was something that was brought up, like, what a great atmosphere here today, the fans and guys try to step up, and just from the first batter of the game, it looked like we were trying to do too much right there. So again, just the message is we got to continue to grow. We've got some young guys getting an opportunity that normally they wouldn't have this opportunity without some other guys being down right now. And they're stepping up and they're playing and competing really well. So I'm proud of how everybody's, where we are right now and where we have a chance to go as we continue to get through the season.
I know it's not the outcome you wanted, but what did you think of Chandler's outing overall today?
Man, I thought Chandler was really good, and that's the frustrating part. I thought on the mound, we should not have given up 5 runs. I thought we could have made a couple plays. I thought he pitched really well, and just it didn't seem like it was an outing where he ended up giving up 5 runs, like, because he was in control most of the part. But what they did, you got to give Vanderbilt credit. They came up with some key hits, and they weren't like lasers around the ballpark. They were able to find those holes, but they did it by really taking good approaches to the plate and taking what our defense gave them.
How big was it to just come out of this series with at least one win against these guys?
Yeah, I think anytime you're in the SEC, the one thing that you must do is you must come away with a victory in each series, and that's the frustrating part, that we got the sweep and then we needed to pick up a game or so in the other 2 that when we had opportunities to do that, and now that backs were against the wall, we really needed 2 out of 3 here. I mean, and that's and we know that Vanderbilt's going to be a tough club to sweep, but we felt confident that we could come in today, and we got our number 1 guy going. He pitched well, and we just didn't support him with run support. But, again, we still got 6 SEC weekends left. They don't get any easier, and we just got to keep going out and competing.
What's the benefits of playing like this tough competition with your first 4 SEC series being against top 20 programs? What is the benefits of that, and how do you think that prepares your guys for the home stretch of the SEC season?
Yeah, the fact that, we played 4 of the top, when you look at record-wise, like the 4 best that we could really play right now. And Tennessee's a really good team that's going to, they're very talented. They're going to get it going. We caught them and was able to play really well against them. But we still have Florida. We still have a lot of teams that's coming our way that are it's the same caliber. And I say this all the time, like in the SEC, it's how do you catch that team and what weekend are you catching that team, because anybody can beat anybody in our conference, and everybody understands that. As coaches, we know, like, hey, it doesn't matter who you're playing. If you don't go out and play the best, you're going to lose that weekend, and every team's capable. So it's like we know that we're right there. We got to break through and find that little extra that we need to consistently win.
You mentioned how close you are. What's the message, and how do you get them just over that hump with how close you are?
Yeah, the message is just we got to keep playing. We got to keep grinding. There's nothing that we can do different. I mean, I think in baseball there's stages of the season that you go through all the time, and there's ups and downs. We got off to a great start. We were playing really, really well. We were completely healthy. All those things were going well, and then all of a sudden, you health-wise, you lose a little bit. You start looking around, seeing who's going to step up and do this, and it takes some time to get out of that. I do know that last night's walk-off win is going to help that. I do know that how we've competed just recently, like, people are starting to understand, like, hey, we still have enough. Every team deals with injury. Every team deals with players that aren't ready to play right now, and we are the beneficiary of forcing some guys to play a little bit earlier than what they were expected to play right here. We've got some young guys filling in and getting that experience, and now we're at the point of the season now, like, nobody's a freshman anymore. We're halfway through the season. They've got experience. They've seen how all this works, and now they just step up and got to play their game.
I'm doing a feature story on Hank Zeisler, so I was kind of curious what you feel like he's brought to this team. I know obviously went to Chapman for 4 years and now seems to be tearing it up here.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, Hank is what we in the coaching world, he's a ball player. He does everything right. He is very motivational for his team from, just talking the game. He's a settling and calming player on the field. Like when he's out on the field, he's communicating with all the guys and just keeping guys positive. But like, he's a ball player. He can do everything in the game. Like people don't look at him as a runner, but he's a very good base runner. He's a good defender. He's a tough out, and he just has that experience, and he has that personality about him that everybody kind of gravitates to him on a team. Whenever things are going bad, they're going to look at him and see how he's responding. And I will tell you, like, part of our success this year is how Hank's come in and been, I don't know what you call him, but he's been the veteran of this club and really very responsible with everybody here.
Thank you.
This upcoming week, 4 games in 5 days, a little bit of a quick turnaround, especially with them all being on the road. What's kind of the challenge of having a road trip like that?
Yeah, I think road trips in general in the SEC are very challenging, but I mean, our biggest challenge right now is just on the pitching staff. Like, whenever we start packing the games in tight, and like you said, 4 and 5 in those 5 days, like that's a tight stretch for us to be able to cover, and that's always the challenge. But the good thing is we were reset for this weekend without having the midweek. Our pitching staff, we had several guys that didn't throw this weekend, so that means we've got some guys to throw on Tuesday, and then the same guys that threw this weekend can go back and handle next weekend as well. So I think that is the challenge for us, and it's going to be the challenge for us the rest of the season. I mean, and obviously we'd love to see Ross Lovich back in the lineup sooner rather than later, but I mean, I think that's the biggest challenge right now, is just making sure our pitching depth is able to cover the number of games that we still have.
Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.